Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Meshi with Align Plans. So today we're going to be doing a fun video that I have been just hoping to update you guys on for a while. We're going to be talking about empties. What does that mean? I'm going to be walking you through 3 different categories of all the things that I have bought as stationery and what is something that I have used up that I would absolutely consider repurchasing, or what is something that I have purchased and I used it up, but maybe it was an absolute fail. I'm not necessarily going to be focused on things that I have used in the past month. This is just sort of like an overarching thing. This is like an overarching category. So I will walk you through the 3 different categories that I picked for today's video. If you guys like this format, please let me know in the comments, because then I would love to do this more on a regular basis, more on a monthly basis, so that we can talk about not only just something that I have used up, but also did it actually work out and would I consider repurchasing it. But we're making a stationery edition, and maybe I will sneak in a couple of lifestyle stuff in there too. So if that sounds good, then why don't we just get started with today's video? And of course, if you've never met me, well, hello, how are you? My name is Meshi, and I'm the person behind Align Plans. We talk at least 3 times a week on this channel, and we talk about anything and everything minimalist planning, journaling, planning, all the things. And if you're new here and you love stationery, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance to just yet, so that way, you don't miss another stationery video. All right, so honestly, I'm having so much fun with this video because hopefully we can make this more of a series. We're going to first begin with notebooks, and I'm not including planners in here. You'll notice that I'm not including planners here, only because with planners, you end up using them, you know what I mean? And in a separate video, if you guys want just a planner related, like a roundup of what I used up and what is something that I would consider repurchasing, we can most definitely do that. But here, these are just like all the accessory things that I'm planning on focusing on. Okay, so the first category that we're going to go with is basically notebooks, anything and everything notebooks. And I have quite a few different ones to show you. So I'm just gonna start with the one that's closest to me. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but let's talk about the Midori notebook. This is just a normal A6 size notebook, as you notice, and it's grid. So I have been using this, and it's completely full. I have been using this particular one for managing finances. I did a little pen test in the back of it, but beyond that, it's mainly designed for just managing anything and everything financial. Generally speaking, I use this notebook mainly for just like writing down anything and everything that I'm going to be using in the sinking funds and just kind of updating that. Honestly, I love the fact that it has more like a hardcover. I love the fact that it's small, compact, but it's very, very durable. Like I've had this for like maybe a year and a half, and yes, it is dirty, but I don't know, I kind of don't mind that. So spoiler, would I repurchase this? I would. I love this so much, and I knew that I'm going to be running out of space here really soon, and so I have replaced it, and I would replace this anytime. Now, mind you, like at some point I might actually upgrade this to more like a B6 size. I do have that here actually, so I might do something like just like slightly larger, just so that I have a bit more running room. So maybe for financial planning I might do something like this. But as far as the notebook and the quality, I love everything about it. So you have like a little, there's not much to say about this, honestly, because like Midori makes really solid products. If you're not familiar with their notebooks, and if you're kind of on a hunt for something really like great and reliable, I would definitely check them out. Now, some of the smaller notebooks that I wanted to mention, and I have a few, I have about 3 different categories. So let's go with the easiest one. I have the Muji in a passport size. I bought this in the Muji store actually, and as you can tell, it's completely full. I use this for commonplace book. I use this as a commonplace book. I use this for journaling, for little planning. I use this for a multitude of reasons, and I would just set up my categories. I'm still working on using these dot stickers for actually marking the proper category, but that's more on me. Again, spoiler, I love these. I think that they're very inexpensive, like pretty much you can get them anywhere. And they're really, really great alternative if you want just a different paper. I love the fact that it's a different paper quality than what you get from Midori, like for the Traveler's Notebook specifically. So I already have my backup here. It's already waiting. She's just like, just say the word and I'm ready to go. So, I mean, would I repurchase this? Absolutely, I would. If you want just like a small, reliable 24 sheet, basic little insert that you can add into your TN, this would be definitely up there. Now, alternatively, I do have another option for you that I have been using for quite some time, and that is from Yamamoto paper. I love okay. So I love these, but I love these because they're easy and accessible. And if I mess something up, I don't want to say I don't care, but it's not that big of a deal. Yamamoto paper, on the other hand, here I kind of baby these a lot more because the design is different on all of their covers. And it's really beautifully designed. I think that they're using like a different, like a wax paper as the cover. And then the insert itself, I think that this is the same type of colored paper, cream colored paper as what you get with Muji. I like both, but here this is dot grid, here this is a normal grid, and then I have another one, the one that I filled up, this is also a dot grid. So I have both, and I like both, but for different reasons. Price point wise, I think these you can get for like maybe $4 or $5. And this cost, the last time I checked on Paper Plus Cloth, I think these were like $7.90. So these just cost like a little bit more, but it's because there's more that goes into the cover and the design is different. Would I repurchase this? I already have. Whenever I buy one, I actually buy multiple. And these are the other covers that are waiting for me. One of them is the museum series. The other one, these are shapes. But they're equally so pretty. Now let me take it out of the package. Right? And here's the other one. So they're both really pretty in their own way. I'm going to put them back in the package because I really don't want them to get, dirty. If you want something that's more of a decorative notebook, I would highly recommend checking these out just because they are so unique and different. And each of them, they kind of remind me of Field Notes, where like each series is slightly different. And you're like, well, what about Field Notes? I'm so glad you asked. I actually do have quite a few from Field Notes. I have filled out a bunch of them before. Okay, this one is not filled out. I thought this was. I think I just did the cover. I thought I grabbed the one that was already filled out. Well, please take my word for it. I do have quite a few that I have filled out. And every time, I have to say, like, my favorite has to go to actually these, the ones that you can get from LL Bean. I love it because it has like the little boot on it, and then this comes in the same kit. So I usually buy them as a stack, obviously, as you can tell. I do have another stack that I bought from them. That's I think is the museum, the National Park series. So I bought a bunch of stacks actually. And because I knew that I would probably use them, I end up actually giving them out as gifts sometimes to family members. Would I repurchase it? Yes, for now I'm okay. Like, as you can tell, I have quite a few that are kind of waiting for me. So yes, I would repurchase it, but with a caveat, because some of the special ones that they make, so special ones as in, like this one, this is a perfect example. I thought that I would use and abuse this. I thought that I would use this as like a sinking fund tracker, and I had like the hardest time with it. So I don't like it for, and the funny thing is, like, in the bag, they actually tell you, they're like, monthly expenses reported and money out, and like you can use it as for just like tracking expenses. And I love the idea, but I hate the execution. Maybe it was just me. As you can tell, like, I started this in 2023 in October. So I mean, like, I've had this for a while, and I did abandon this just because I'm having such a hard time with the grid, basically. I find that these grids are too small for me to put the date, and they're okay for like check marks and stuff. I can't put the date here. The category here is okay, but I wish that one of these lines was moved over just a little bit so you have a bit more space. And also, if I'm writing like money, like amounts and numbers here, this is like kind of small for me. So I don't know, that's just me being picky. I did use it and I did give it a try with a couple of categories of like, things that I have to write as supplies, but I have to like adjust my numbers so that I kind of know like how much more I owe. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, like I said, it might just be user error and that's totally fine, but I did not enjoy the experience of using this one and I would not repurchase this. They had the other one as well. Yeah, this is the other one that came in that same kit. I don't think I like this either. I don't think we actually used this. No, we didn't. I think I bought this so that I can give this to my husband so that he has like a weekly like tracker of like, so he can just like oversee what's going on, and he refuses to use it. So I don't know. I don't hate this because it has your Monday to Sunday, like your full weekly overview. It's like a small little snapshot. It's fillable. It would make sense to use this for him, but he doesn't. So again, in the back, it gives you a whole bunch of ideas of how you can use this. I don't like some like friends' birthdays, date nights. Like, do you really? You have like a full weekly layout. I don't think you need that for like. I don't think you need like a full weekly layout to like jot in when your friend's birthday is. Anyways, I'm not going to rant on this, but specialty ones I would skip. Normal notebooks, absolutely great because they are very durable. They're easy to use. They look really cute, like the different covers, they look awesome. And as you can tell, I have like a whole stack of them. So people are going to be getting some gifts from me this year. Let's move on to pens. Pens are going to be fun. So I have quite a few to show you that I both own and then something that I would absolutely not touch again with a 10-foot pole just because that's just how the cookie ended up crumbling, and it did crumble. Let me tell you. All right, let's talk about pens. Oh my God, it's gonna be a roast fest. All right, now I can pretty much tell you, I'm just gonna start with gel pens. I don't really have too much to share on fountain pens, but if you guys want like a whole separate video just on fountain pens and more pens, because I have quite a few to share, but I don't want this to be like a super long video. Like one of the best pens that I bought so far, like there's two that are kind of competing, but I don't really want to add it into the empties video because it's not actually used up yet. But I have been using this and I've been reaching for this for quite some time, and that is the Pentel Energel in 0.5. Most of you are familiar with this. It's got like a needle point tip. This might be a little dried up because I haven't been, no, there we go. So the reason why I love this is because it's thin enough, but it's opaque enough. So like I just feel like the writing experience is really comfortable for a lefty. I also love the fact that I can pretty much use this on any of my planners and it doesn't start skipping, it doesn't get weird. So I would 100% repurchase this. I would basically just need to buy like a new cartridge for it and kind of call it a day. The other one that's sort of competing with this, and I cannot wait to actually buy the other cartridges that go inside of this. I didn't really want to mention this because it's still relatively new to me, but I'm a spoiler. I would 100% repurchase this. This one is the Pilot Il Mili. I mentioned this a couple of times because there's different bodies that have like a different color in the end. Another gel pen, but this one is not a needle point tip. All of them come with a black ink. So the one thing that I would do is basically just switch out the colors, and then that way, I've had these for multiple years and I have run out of them. Whenever you buy this as a stack, you get like a whole bunch of them in one bundle. These are the Monami Plus pens. I have it in blue, I have it in green, and I think I have a red one somewhere. I would have to find it. I'm not going to look for it right now, but I would 100% repurchase this. This is more like a fine tip, like marker type of thing. But I generally use this whenever I want to like foolproof my writing. So if none of my gel pens, if none of my ballpoint pens really want to do what I want it to do and I want color, this is usually what I reach for from Monami. Their stuff is just absolutely excellent. Here it is in green. I love this whenever I'm doing like financial planning and I wanted to color code stuff and like cross things off or add like a check mark. These are really great for that. Now for, and then of course this will come as no surprise. I also have the Sarasa clip in 0.5. This is actually their vintage their vintage collection. I've had these for so long, and honestly, it's not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just I find them, I just don't reach for them. I just don't feel like Sarasas are like my number one pens that I reach for. So I would not repurchase this. I don't know. I don't have like that draw that says, wow, this is exciting, because this does not write. Obviously, a gel pen will write so differently than a ballpoint pen. But I'm really loving the experience with the Pilot more than I do with the Sarasa. So I would not actually repurchase this, just simply out of preference. Now, moving right along, let's talk a little bit about highlighters. And I'll just grab a new page. For highlighters, I have mixed feelings, and I think that you will kind of understand what I mean. First up, I really wanted to mention, I have about 3 of these so far, and I feel like this is going to be an expanding collection. These are the Sailor brush pens, dual-ended brush pen. The colors are basically the numbers, and so this one is in 273, one of the most stunning. It's almost like a dusty rose color. Like, love it. I love everything about this. I would 100% repurchase this. I would buy like 5 of them. If this would come as in a kit, that would make me so happy, because this holds ink really, really well. So here's the other color. Right? Like, it's so, and honestly, the brush pen, like the brush itself is not weird. It's not too stiff, but it's also not so soft that you literally have like no control. Now, the other one that I wanted to mention, and I've had this for a while, but now I've just gotten to a point with Tombos where I just don't want to have like a million of them. So this one actually works really, really lovely. This is the Tombow brush pen. Again, dual-ended brush pen in 942. These are almost like competing against each other for being a dupe, but the Tombow is a slightly fainter than what you get with Sailor. And I really like that Sailor's is more of a fine tip versus this just feels like a marker. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, I love all 3 of these colors. I would 100% repurchase this. I think that these specific colors work really, really well. Now for the bad news. And I know that most of you will love this, but honestly, I'm just so over it at this point that I can't get there. I have mixed feelings about the mild liners. Some colors. So this one is like a really nuanced conversation, because some mild liners are fantastic. I think this is actually one of them, where if I'm looking at it and like this soft pastel color kind of matches my swatch, and it's great. Again, this is also dual-ended. I don't care, like never use this. Like seriously, if you compare this to this or this, like really, like this just feels like a bowl in a china shop. Like, no, thank you. So I would never use this, first of all, unless I'm teaching my son how to write the ABC. Highlighter, yes, I would reach for this. This would be something that I would probably use like in the spring and summertime. Other than that, like it's not something I would reach for this daily. Now for the bad news. I have some of these colors that are just like ridiculous. Where, well, first of all, this one is out. So this one, we can already say goodbye to it. Would I repurchase that color? No, I would not. Here's the other blue one. And it's fine, but it's so bold. And maybe I just bought the wrong kit. I don't know. Maybe I bought the bold version of it. I don't know what happened, but I'm just like looking at this and then I'm like, well, I was hoping you were like somewhere around here. And yes, I do know that this one is a strong color, but that was intentional. But with this blue, I'm just like, oh, come on, come on. Anyway, so if you're asking, like, I would not repurchase you. The other one that just doesn't, I don't know what they were thinking with this color. I would love this if this was like just a smidge darker. It just feels like yellow. Like, that's it. That's all we got. We give you yellow. And see, this is why, like, I just feel like this belongs in my son's pencil case. It does not belong on my desk because I know I will not reach for this. So would I repurchase that? No, I would not. I don't care for it at all. I much more prefer the experience that I'm getting right now with Sailors and with some of the Tombows, and we're like content and happy. And I'm going to have a similar conversation with you about these as well. And maybe some of you that have bought a bunch of things have already kind of known this, but let's talk about the clean color dud from Zig. Oh my gosh, I have such mixed feelings about this because I actually really love this. This is actually one of the colors that I reach for on a regular basis, and I'm running out. So the question is, when this runs out of ink, would I repurchase this? And this is in the color fawn. And the answer is yes, I would, because it's, first of all, I would not use it as a highlighter. I would use it as a dot, and then it's totally fine. The fine tip that you get at the on the back end, now this, we're now competing up here. Now this is very comparable, obviously, because of how the actual tip of the pen is. Love this. And now for the bad news, what I don't love is all of these cute little colors. And these, most of these have run out of ink anyway. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not dual-ended, so that's already like, I just remember using some of these on some of my spreads, and we were running out of ink, and it was so faint that you could literally not see it. I mean, the yellow right now blends in. Pink is basically out, so, you know, I can't really do a whole lot with that. So I would not recommend these because these dry up. These smaller ones, I find that they dry up so quickly. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I bought that at the exact same time as when I purchased these. So the larger ones with the dual-ended ones are a yes for me, but the smaller ones with the multiple colors are an absolute no. I would not touch that again. I thought that kit is just absolutely not worth it in my opinion. Everybody's favorite, and that will be the Uni 1 pens. The Uni 1 pens, these like promise you such a good time and then they let you down, in my opinion. Again, keep in mind, I will just say this, keep in mind that the way that I'm holding my pens is going to be different than the way that you hold your pens. If you're right-handed, your angle of how you hold your pen is obviously going to be different. For me though, and like it's fine, but it's not good. Like it's like we're like struggling with ink, and maybe it's an ink problem. Maybe like obviously it's an ink problem because like the body has nothing to do with anything. So obviously it's the ink cartridge that's in here. We have this in, I don't even know what your color is. It's like peach, stunning color. If we can get it to work, it's fine, but you can barely see it. So, and I have this in like the most stunning colors. I think this is like espresso or something. Cappuccino brown. Beautiful color. Like once you get it working, it's totally fine. Not very legible, obviously. I would love like this really beautiful muted color coding happening, but I can't because it's skipping a lot. It's getting weird. And I remember talking about this in the past, and so many of you have mentioned that you guys had issues with these pens as well. So if you're asking, would I repurchase this? I would absolutely not. I would toss it into the garbage and I would just kind of move on. Mind you, like I can keep the body and then just like put in different inks. Like I would actually not throw it out. I would keep the body, but I would either try to find pen cartridges that would work a little bit better in that body. Do with that information as you will. Next up, what I wanted to talk to you about is basically accessories. So for accessories, I have quite a few, but not really. I don't really have a ton to share. I have really enjoyed like these smaller decor sticker sheets, something like this. Most of the stuff that I buy are from MU, and they're fantastic. Like I love these like little people, or I like Mindwave. Those are like the two that I usually go for. So these things, when they're just like small and delicate and decorative, like I went through these multiple times. They're wonderful. The other ones that I would actually repurchase because I'm running out is actually from Serica Studio. So this is like a decorative sheet that she has here, and then here is the other one. I find that the sticker quality is excellent. It's transparent. It's easy to work with. It doesn't get weird. It doesn't pull on your paper. All of those things are definitely working for me, so I would 100% repurchase it. And then if I find who makes these, like, I would definitely repurchase this just because they're so unique and cute. And the other thing that I would actually consider repurchasing, and I've had this right now, I just still have like an excess, so I don't need more at the present moment, but maybe I will jump in like November. We'll think about it. It's actually from Stationery, from Modern Journaler. I will just show you like a sample of like, eventually I just added it all into like one of the boxes. But basically you get like, some of them are just like, you know, textured paper. But here's just some of the things that you get. Like, so there's some stamps. Like the level of ephemera that she sends you, I think is wonderful. That's why I love this. And I think this was the thing that like allowed me to stay with her for so long. But this was for December, and you bet your bottom dollar that I will be using this again. So you get like some little washi sets, which is really pretty. You get like these extra stickers that you can use in your smaller planners or journals, and then also some of the larger ones. And then you have like, this is just like all monthly stuff. So they're just so unique and beautiful. Oh, so cute, right? Like if we get like these larger stickers, like this would be from her, this would be from her, this would be from her. You love getting something new. And these are definitely one of those things where like from month after month, I found myself actually using up, and I don't have like multiple months worth of extra sticker sets that are just waiting for me to use up. So, you know, like I do have some stuff left, but like it's not so much, it's not so overwhelming that, you know, you have like multiple sheets and it will take you like 2 years to go through it. The last category that I wanted to briefly mention are going to be, I'll just like blast through some of the inks that I have, and I will show you guys some of the ink swatches just so that you have it. So I'll just insert the footage here. But the inks that I have not only used up, but like I would continue to come back to. First one is from Sailor. It's called Shirakashi. Shirakashi was more like a greenish turquoise color. I liked it, but I wouldn't like run out and grab it again, just because I have at least 3 or more from Pilot that are so similar. Here, I do have the swatch. So this is Diamine's Elf. I would, you know what? This was their limited edition from Diamine. I would actually buy this. I really enjoyed this. I wouldn't just consider getting this at Christmas time. I would actually consider this like as a year-round ink. The other one that I've been really loving, and I was constantly re-inking my pen with this, and that was Nagasawa Kobe's Lamaya Lapis Lazuli. As you can tell, it has like a little bit of a red undertone in this blue. It's one of the most stunning blues that I've had. The next color is Kaweiko's Palm Green. I went through the actual sample so fast, and then eventually I just ended up buying the full bottle. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Here it is, Kaweiko Palm Green. It's like this darker, deep green. Absolutely stunning. I'm not going to run out of this anytime soon because I bought the full bottle, but I would 100% consider this. The other one is an oldie but a goodie, and I think that you guys have seen this many times, me swatching this, and that has to go to Pilot Irishizuku's Tsukiyo. It's one of those things where I bought like at least 3 samples, so I think it's the universe telling me that maybe it might be time for you to buy the full bottle. The only other thing that I wanted to add in here that's like more lifestyle vibe related, and that has to go to something that I have bought multiples of. It's more of a lifestyle thing, but you'll forgive me. It has to go to the Being Frenchie. This is the Soothing Body Serum Stick. I loved it so much that I ended up buying multiples. So I have this in Cashmere Vanilla and Palo Santo Sage. I use this when we travel. I also use this like as part of like my evening routine. If you want something, it kind of looks like a deodorant, first of all. And then I usually just love adding a little bit on my neck and a little bit on my hands. And it will just make your hands, and it'll make you smell really beautiful, but then it's also really good for you. So I love this. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I bought multiples of is actually from Essie. This is their little cuticle oil. And if your hands get as dry as mine, especially as we're moving into the winter time, I would consider grabbing like just a good quality um, cuticle oil because it'll keep your hands hydrated. And I love the fact that they made like an on-the-go version of this because it's as good as it sounds. And the last thing, since we're already on hand care and that I'm actually running out of this, it is the Being Frenchie in Cashmere Vanilla her hand serum. And as you can tell, like we are running out. So all of these kind of play nicely together. But I just figured I will add in not so much skincare things, but I wanted to add in things that, you know, it will actually take care of your hands since we do so much with our hands on a regular basis. And it's so rare that we actually take the time to take care of it properly. At least, I don't know about you, but that's kind of how I feel. All right, I think this concludes everything that I want to share with you. I would love to hear from you. Please let me know, out of all the things that I have shared, what is something that you would consider repurchasing if you have tried it? Or what is something that you would actually consider just trying out because I introduced you to it in the first time? This is all I have for you. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and you subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance to just yet. And in the meanwhile, just keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.